You ever sit there and stare in the dark for so long that you start to see things that aren't even there? I'm not talking about monsters. I'm not talking about ghosts. I'm talking about yourself. That version of you that nobody sees. The one behind the smile. The one who sits there when the noises fade, when the lights are off. And all that's left is the sound of your own thoughts echoing back at you. That's where this story begins. Not in a highlight reel, not with fake smiles and forced hope, but in the silence, the kind of silence that hurts. Because when you sit in that silence for so long, it starts whispering to you. It starts showing you things you buried a long time ago. Regrets, mistakes, losses. And it asks you questions that you can't answer. What happened to you? When did you stop feeling alive? Why are you still here? People love to say crying is weakness. They'll say, man up, stay strong. But when you're sitting there in that darkness, when your chest tightens, your eyes burn, and your whole soul aches to be seen, there's nothing weak about that. That's survival. That's war. And I fought that war alone night after night. The truth is, I lost a lot of those battles. I lost my purpose. I lost my sense of peace. I lost my sense of self. And some nights I almost lost the will to even try again. This is about those nights. The ones nobody saw. The nights I cried until I couldn't breathe. The nights I prayed for peace, but only found silence. The nights I cried alone. You know, some nights I sit there and wonder if anyone would even notice if I didn't wake up tomorrow. Not in a dramatic way. Not looking for attention. Just gone. Like I was never here. And to be honest, it scares me to admit that. But that's the truth. Those nights, the ones nobody talks about, I broke. I cried so hard it felt like my body was collapsing in on itself. My chest burning, my throat raw, my mind screaming. And still, no sound came out. Because I did it alone. I always did it alone. Because if anyone saw me like that, they'd either walk away or worse. They pitied me. And I can't stand to be pitied. I've sat in silence for hours. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just me and my thoughts. And they weren't kind. They came one after another like a storm that wouldn't end. Regret, shame, loneliness, anger, all at once. And every time I thought I could catch my breath, another wave hit. I thought about every mistake I made. Every time I hurt someone. Every time I let myself down. Every time I didn't fight hard enough. And I replayed it all over and over until it became torture. The room would shrink. The air got heavier. And even breathing felt like a job. I'd stare at the ceiling, trying to sleep. But my thoughts were louder than any nightmare. The silence was screaming at me, telling me I wasn't enough, telling me I'd never be enough. And in that darkness, I'd finally break. The tears would come. The sobs would shake me. And I'd let it happen. No more pretending, no more faking strength. Just me and the truth. I was hurting. And if you're hearing this right now, if you've made it this far in the video, and you feel even a little of what I'm feeling, I want you to know you're not alone. If you want to be a part of a place where we face the truth together, where we survive and fight and grow, then subscribe to my YouTube channel, Overcoming with Ray Latour, and keep walking through this journey with me. I hated myself. Not a little, not in passing. Deep bone, deep hate. For who I was, for how I let the darkness win. For the man in the mirror who looked like nothing the one I wanted to be. And some nights I'd whispered into the dark, I wish I'd never been born. Not for attention, not to scare anyone, but just to make the pain stop. People love to say you're not alone. But when you're in it, and I mean really in it, you feel invisible. You feel like a ghost in your own life. Like the world just keeps moving while you fade into the background. You smile in public. You laugh when you're supposed to. You act fine. And the moment you close the door, you fall apart. The mask drops. And the war begins again. It's not just sadness. It's rage. It's fear. It's the kind of pain that eats from the inside out. I'd be angry at myself, at the world, at God, at everyone who said you'll be okay when I wasn't, at everyone who didn't see I was falling apart right in front of them. So I stopped explaining. I stopped trying because I was tired. Tired of repeating myself. Tired of pretending. Tired of fighting a battle no one could see. So I cried instead. I cried until my eyes swelled shut. Until my throat burned. Until I couldn't tell the difference between breathing and breaking. There were nights I thought I wouldn't make it. Nights when I thought I didn't deserve to. And I kept it all locked inside. Because that's what we do when the world teaches us to hide pain behind smiles. But here's the part I never thought I'd say. I survived it. Not because I was strong, not because I had it all figured out, but because I kept waking up. Even when I didn't want to. Even when my heart said no, but my body still said breathe. Little by little, I started to see tiny cracks of light through the dark. A song that made me feel something again. A laugh that didn't sound forced. A conversation that reminded me I wasn't completely invisible. It wasn't a miracle moment. It was an instant healing. It was slow, painful, messy, but it was real. And one day I realized something. I was still here. I had made it through the nights I swore I wouldn't survive. And that meant something. Now when I look back, I still feel it. The darkness, it doesn't just disappear. It lingers. But so does the strength that carried me through it all. Because I faced that pain. I sat in it. I cried through it. And I lived it. If you're listening to this right now and you're in the same space, I see you. I know what it feels like to cry into your pillow and hope the pain ends before the morning comes. I know the silence that screams. I know the weight that crushes your chest. But I need you to know something. You're still here, and that matters. Every tear you've shed, every night you thought about giving up, it all led to this moment right here. You're still breathing. You're still fighting. And even if the world doesn't see it, I see it. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're human. And yeah, I still cry sometimes. I still have nights where it all comes rushing back. But I also have nights where I smile for real. Where I remember why I'm still fighting. So if you're crying tonight, just know I've been there. And somehow, through all the pain, through all the noise and the silence, I found a reason to keep going. And you will too. Those nights I cried alone, they taught me something that no sunshine ever could. They taught me that even in complete darkness, there's still a heartbeat. And as long as that's still going, there's still hope. Live, laugh, learn, and stay positive. If this reached you, if it moved you, if it reminded you that you're not alone, I want you to join me in this journey. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Overcoming with Ray Latour, and let's keep fighting together. You don't have to do it alone anymore.